southwest, reasonably 10, 3,500 scatter, temperature 260, 2.16.
Would you fly in this plane that lands itself? This is the Cirrus SR22 G7 Plus. The world's first piston aircraft that's capable of that. This is Cirrus's smartest, safest, and the most luxurious SR22 yet. From a pilot's perspective, I'm gonna show you exactly what makes the G7 Plus stand out and what might surprise you. Today, we'll look inside and out of this plane and see what it has to offer. Then we'll strap in and take it up for flight and see how it handles. So welcome on board and let's go flying. What's up everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel for another exciting airplane, part of a series here on the First Gen Pilot YouTube channel showcasing all kinds of aircraft. Make sure to check out the last few videos if you haven't done so yet, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more aviation content. Today you'll be witnessing the first piston aircraft that's capable of landing itself. With me today I have Taylor Anderson, a Cirrus Regional Sales Director, to help us go in depth on what the G7 is really capable of. This is definitely the coolest plane I've ever flown. Thanks to Taylor for such a fun day, and thanks to Cirrus Aircraft for making this possible. So tell us about yourself and what you do at Cirrus.
So my name's Taylor Anderson and I'm the Regional Sales Director for Cirrus Aircraft. So I basically get to fly around a brand new airplane all the time and sell them. I show it to people, I do the demo flights, and I sell airplanes.
Yeah, cool. So behind us here we have the G7 Plus. Yes. You called it Electra, is that correct? Yes,
I named her Electra, so I always let social media pick a name for my airplane. It's always a girly pop name because I gotta fly around with my best girlfriend while I have her. So this one is Electra.
So what can you tell us about the engine performance, or what kind of engine do we have on this airplane right here?
Yeah, so this is the tried and true, the Continental TSIO 550. So it's a 315 horsepower, twin turbocharged, 6-cylinder piston engine, and it rocks. You're really gonna feel that today when we take off.
So what kind of performance can we expect from a big engine like this one?
Yeah, so our max service ceiling on this engine is 25,000 feet. So we can get up pretty high. Our takeoff speed, we typically rotate around 77 to 80 knots, and we're climbing out, our cruise climb is 120 knots. So this thing really cooks.
Yeah.
Typically on a day like today, we're gonna be, it's really humid. I know it probably doesn't look like it on camera. We don't look as sweaty as we feel, but it's pretty hot and humid out here. But with the turbocharged engine, we're still gonna get really good performance. So we can expect around 1,000 to 1,200 foot climb rate, even with all of us in the plane.
Cool. And how fast can we take this thing? So
max speed on the turbo is 215 knots true. And that's up at 25,000 feet. Today, we're not going to get up that high. So we typically are, lower flight levels. We're talking maybe 175 true, which is still pretty quick for a piston airplane.
Yeah. So 25,000, that's really high. So does it come with the oxygen as well, I'm guessing?
It does. So we have a supplemental oxygen system. It's the Precise Flight system. Below 20,000 feet, you can use just a cannula, and above that, you're using a full face for oxygen.
So as we all know, Cirrus is big on safety. So what are some of the safety features that this aircraft has?
Yes, so of course, like every Cirrus we have ever produced and will continue to produce, this airplane is equipped with the Cirrus airframe parachute system, our CAP system, so the full airframe parachute. It's an incredible system, tried and true. We've saved over 246 lives because of this system, and a handful of dogs, so those count too.
That's amazing.
In addition to that, the G7 Plus, we just launched our Safe Return Auto Land system, which is incredible. We're the first piston airplane to have a safe return on it. which I think is a pretty remarkable feat. Shout out to our incredible engineering and product development team for being able to come out with that. That was a huge ordeal to put into this airplane. In addition to that, of course, we have all kinds of other small safety features, which we can talk about in the air.
Yeah, for sure. So let's touch up on a little bit about the autoland. So talk to us a little bit about that and how that works. So as soon as I press that button, what happens and all the way to the ground?
Yes, that's a great question. So when you push the button, the pilot has 10 seconds to respond. So that's a really frequent question that we get. What if the kid in the back seat pushes the button? Is this plane going to land itself somewhere? The answer is no. You can disconnect the auto land at any point. But in the event of pilot incapacitation, you can push that button and the airplane will find the nearest tower-controlled airport. There's a lot of other requirements into the airport that it chooses. It has to have at least 4,500-foot runway. It grades the airport. So in this environment, if we're in the Minneapolis metro and we push that button, it's not going to automatically land you at MSP to disrupt literally everybody else's day. It's going to land you somewhere like St. Paul downtown or here at Flying Cloud even, because we have a runway that meets the criteria for autoland. But it'll navigate around weather, terrain. It'll run your TKS system if it senses that you're in a cold enough temperatures to get ice on the aircraft. And land the airplane, come to a complete stop on the runway, set the parking brake, shut the engine down, and then walks the customers or the clients through how to get out of the airplane.
Wow. So one thing I'm kind of already running in my head right now, who talks to the tower?
That's a great question. The airplane does.
Really?
So yeah, so you'll notice as we get up and we're flying around, we do have automated, and this is something that we've had in the airplane for a long time, is automated voice. And that same automated voice that walks you through and says, when you're 500 feet or, that CAPS is available, like those little cues that we get, that same voice is going to talk to air traffic control for you. So it's going to let the center controllers or approach controllers know where you're intending to land. It's going to talk to the tower and let them know how far out you are. And it's also going to talk to the passengers. So obviously, pilot incapacitation is a very serious thing and very scary for passengers. So it's going to tell the passengers where you're going, how soon you're going to land. It'll even cue the passengers on when it's turning or descending or, making big power adjustments so that the passengers are aware of what's going on so that, they don't have to be nervous about the airplane suddenly turning or descending or whatever it's doing. So it walks them through it so that they feel comfortable. It also cues them in so that if they need to speak with air traffic control, it tells them how they can do that and what to say, which is pretty cool.
So it's completely hands-off.
Completely hands-off, yes.
That's really amazing. That's really amazing. I want to get a Cirrus now.
I love it. That's the goal.
Yeah, so now let's talk about how much it costs and look at someone that's looking into buying an aircraft like this one right here.
Yeah, that's a great question. So this one, as you see it, this is our top of the line. This is every bell and whistle that Cirrus makes. So this one, as you see it, is about 1.3. You can get into the SR20s closer to about 700,000. So we have a pretty wide range between the 20, the 22, and the 22 turbo.
Cool. And what does the maintenance cost look like in a plane like this? I know obviously it's brand new, so it won't have too much going on with it. So is it your regular annual that you're doing?
Yeah, pretty minimal. So of course, because it's a brand new engine, there's some more inspections along the way that customers have to go through. So we do a 25-hour. The first 25 hours of this engine's life is the engine break-in cycle. So after that 25 hours, we're running mineral oil throughout that. So once you make that swap, then you do another 25 hours later. So at 50 hours, a 50-hour oil change and inspection. And then your next one's at 100 hours. And from there on, it's a lot less inspections. But on average, our customers are spending between $3,000 and $5,000 a year on their annual maintenance.
Okay, yeah, that's really cool.
Under warranty.
Warranty
makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. Okay, and then let's talk about the transitioning to an airplane like this. I recently started flying a Cirrus, and it's quite different. So what can you tell us about it? You're a flight instructor as well.
Yes.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes. So typically for a private pilot, instrument rated is great. It takes about 8 to 10 hours to fully transition into the Cirrus and really feel comfortable and confident in the airplane. But that can vary depending on, your history. Personally, I learned to fly in a Cirrus. We get this question a lot, like, oh no, you can't learn to fly in a Cirrus. It's too high performance, or there's too much going on. And that is 100% not true. You can absolutely learn to fly. I learned to fly in a Cirrus. the airplane is going to be the best co-pilot that you'll ever have. So my advice to everyone always is to learn the automation and to learn what the airplane can do for you. It flies just like every other airplane. At the end of the day, the ailerons do the same thing, the rudders do the same thing, although we do have an automatic yaw dampener, so you don't have to do the rudders above 200 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus, I guess.
But if you want to, you can.
Yeah.
It all works the same at the end of the day. So it's really learning how to best utilize the airplane and make sure that the airplane is doing what you know and think that it is doing.
Okay.
And that can take some time if you're unfamiliar with the avionics.
Exactly, yeah. Well, Taylor, I'm really excited to go up and try this plane. So are you ready to go fly?
Let's go fly!
All right, let's do it.
Plane, we're gonna go bats 1 and 2 on. Checking for database updates. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Automatic database updates. Hands down, favorite feature besides the airplane being able to land itself.
Okay.
Coolest thing, database updates.
Yeah.
This is our initialization page. The fun thing about the initialization here is that it's exactly the same as the initialization in the Vision Jet. So all of our customers who fly the G7 Plus, they already know how to run the avionics then in a Vision Jet, which makes the transition for them so seamless, so easy. I'm gonna go mixture forage, throttle full forward, and then our boost pump moved up here. So you're gonna go to high boost prime for just like 5 seconds. We'll see our fuel flow increase here. That looks good. Switch it to boost, all the way up. Close the throttle, crack it open. Yeah, just tiny bit. And then you can throw your strobe lights on. Beautiful, clear prop. And then we're going to rotate the engine knob. And then you're going to push and hold the starter to engage. Get that RPM. Bring her down to 1,000. You can throw on alternators 1 and 2. Voila. Ready to go like this, like that. The air conditioning blasting.
And that might have been the easiest.
Yeah, she starts right up. We have a new lithium ion battery. It's a smart battery in the G7. And it's got a lot of juice. So it always, like, right off the bat starts up for us.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to pull this back just a smidge more. We'll lean it out. And then between your knees, there's the parking brake. If you want to pull that straight out, no twisting. Just straight out. Make sure that's it. Okay, perfect. And now we can pull up a checklist. So we added a little checklist scroll wheel up here.
Cool.
So we've already started the engine. We've done all of this stuff. So we're going to go to before taxi here. And then as you click through the checklist, you just press that scroll wheel down and it'll check the boxes for us. So.
Okay.
Flying Cloud Ground, Cirrus 525 Echo Lima, in-flight west side with Quebec. Ready to taxi, you're going to be VFR southwestbound.
That's a 5 Echo Lima, flight cloud ground, 10 left, taxi Alpha, cross 36.
10 left to Alpha will cross 36 for 525 Echo Lima.
Yeah, and there's golf. Perfect. And then put in 10 left. Voila. And then you see our little chevrons here.
Yeah.
And our little chevrons here. So it'll kind of guide us to where we need to go, which is pretty dang cool.
It is.
Okay. We use differential braking in the Cirrus. So release the brakes. You have to use the brakes. The rudders are going to do nothing for you.
Okay, we'll go this way.
Yes. Make that turn. Checks on your taxi. Doors are latched, seatbelts are on. I'm going to leave the recirc on for now, but we'll turn that off before we go. We're clear left, clear right, we're going right. Very good. Fuel quantity is confirmed. We're on the fuller tank, and it's closed. Boost pump is on. Yeah. Mixture is adjusted fine. Flaps 50% set and check. I'm going to set the flaps to 50 down here. And then looking out, I can visually check the aileron should line up with it. And it lines up on both sides, and it's deflected and selected as 50 here.
Yep.
All right,
Hey,
we're clear
clear
on the
is,
right, we're clear on the left, and we
we're
are clear
visible.
to cross.
Cool.
You can see how it's magenta lines now.
Yeah.
So that's what we're on. And then if you were instructed to hold short somewhere, you can put in the hold short instructions, and it'll stop your line there.
Cool.
So as part of the Safe Return launch, we all, our sales team congregated down in San Antonio, Texas for a few days.
Okay.
And we all got to go up and test out the safe return. We had a demo software on 2 of our airplanes, which allowed us to push the button and watch the airplane actually, you know, land itself. And it was absolutely incredible. Watching the throttle, you know, make these adjustments. It's doing the exact same adjustments that I would be making. We were up on a super gusty, really bumpy day, and it absolutely killed it. It was so incredible. And the landing, I thought, you know, it kind of just like plops you down on the runway.
Okay.
But it was a great landing, better than half the people I fly with. I'm not going to tell you which half, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll keep it. But I love this, how
Isn't
like,
that cool?
it's showing everything.
Yeah.
On a low visibility, I think this would come in real well.
Comes in super handy. And like unfamiliar airports, you know, when you're taxiing around a big airport that you've never been to before, it's like it gives you so much peace of mind to know that, you know, this is bringing you to exactly where you need to go.
Exactly. Wow, slow down here.
Yeah, we can do kind of a run up sitting here waiting.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna move our box and I'll walk you through how to do all this stuff once we're up. But so we can bring up an engine page here.
I feel like a button. Is that a button under?
It is a button.
What is that for?
So that's our toga button, our takeoff go around button, just like they have in big jets.
Yeah.
So we're going to arm that before we take off, and you'll see what it does. It gives us straight forward, and then the nose at 7.5 degrees nose up, straight forward. So if you're to engage the autopilot, it automatically goes to that like perfect takeoff attitude.
Cool.
And then in a go around, it's really incredible. So if you're coming into land, you know, you click the go around button, you go full power. If you're on an instrument approach, it'll automatically sequence you to the missed approach procedure. So you know, you can leave the autopilot engaged at that point.
Yeah.
And then otherwise it'll guide you once again to that 7.5 degrees nose up straightforward attitude so that you're in within protected limits of the plane.
Cool.
Okay, so let's do a run up. So I'm going to go mixture full rich.
All right.
You can increase the throttle to 1700 RPM.
10 left the alpha. 10 left the alpha for 90 left.
Beautiful. We're going to load up the alternator so you can turn on the landing lights and ice lights.
These guys?
Yep. And so you can see our alternators are carrying a pretty good load. The main buses and essential bus all are about 28 volts, which is perfect, exactly where we want them. We're going to turn off what we don't need, so landing lights and ice lights can come off for now. And then I'm going to go to the engine page, and we're going to do a mag check. So you're going to rotate from both to the left mag. And we get a drop here and a rise here. That looks good. Back to both. And now the right mag.
Alpha crossing 36 and flight 5.
Same drop. Good rise. Back to both. Lovely. And then I always do an idle check so you can slowly close the throttle all the way. And we should idle between 600 and 750. 730 sounds great. And back to 1,000. So we'll stay below. The clouds are allegedly at 3,500 feet, according to the ATIS. So we'll stay below 3,500 feet, and then we'll find a hole somewhere out there to buzz up through. So.
179 Lima, get one more approach.
Okay, so kind of last checks here. So we did all these things. Did this. Engine parameters we checked, power we did an idle check, trim is still set for takeoff, we haven't adjusted that. Cast messages, we have no cast messages. Ice protection, we're not going to use any ice protection because it is super hot out and there's no ice.
Yeah.
Okay, so takeoff. Normal takeoff, we're going to go full power. Listen to both of them, like, gosh, so much yapping. So we're going to go full power. It should take about 3 seconds to go all the way up to the firewall. It is a lot of power, so it's going to take a lot of right rudder. So make sure we're putting in enough right rudder there. We're going to rotate smoothly at 77 knots. You've flown a Cirrus before, so you know these things like to fly. So it doesn't take much. You're going to put your fingertips kind of on the yoke here and then just gently squeeze the yoke into the palm of your hand to take off, okay? I'm going to arm your toga. 77 knots, yep. And then we're going to climb out. Flaps come up through 90 knots, and then we cruise climb at 120 knots, okay?
Tower 655 Echo Lima's number 1 for 10 left.
Cirrus 525 Echo Lima, flank out.
We'll hold short 10 left for 525 Echo Lima.
I can turn off the recirc if that's blasting in the face.
Yeah.
There you go. It's like a windstorm in here. Look at us complaining about our airplanes. Air conditioning.
Right.
First world problems.
Yeah. You doing good back there?
Yes.
Okay.
Clipper 08 Hotel. So fly straight out, I'll call your turn, runway 10 left, clear for takeoff.
Straight out, you'll call the turn, and 10 left, clear for takeoff. 525 Echo Lima.
All right, mixture's up, flaps 50, boost pumps on, lights are up, mags on both, trim is set. We are looking good. We are clear on the right. We are clear on the left.
Verify 10 left to the ground.
Love it. Once we roll out, get straightened out here. We're gonna put our heels on the floor.
Okay.
Make sure we're not hitting the brakes.
Go for
And
power.
power can go smoothly full forward, all the way up. Good. All the beans. Beautiful.
There's 40.
There we go.
Good.
Power looks good. Everything's in the green. Airspeed's alive.
Number 2, runway 10
We're
left.
looking for 77. You can feel it already wants to fly. Perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Lot of power.
Yep.
All right, you can lower the nose just a little bit. There you go. It's a weird attitude because you feel like you can see a lot more of the ground, but that's what we want. We want to see a little bit more. We have a lot more visibility than most airplanes.
Okay.
So we can pull our flaps up now. So go ahead, they're right at your fingertips there. Beautiful.
Pistol 79 Lima, your follow traffic ahead to your right, just turning down.
We're keeping the runway heading for now. Keep
Yep.
that climb going.
Looking for traffic.
79 Lima, the rocker right lane
Catch
now.
is
on
available.
Yep.
We're doing 1,300 feet a minute climb.
This time, sir.
And 79 Lima, roger, southbound approved.
And we're going to stop the climb. We'll go up to 2,200 feet. So just shortly here.
So it's a 09 Lima, runway 10 right, clear for the option.
Beautiful. We'll give you this. And I'm going to turn the autopilot on so that we can offload you some. So autopilot's on.
1081,
Okay.
You can let go. We'll let the airplane do the work for us. It's going to level us off at 2,200 feet because we're coming under this shelf here.
Sure, 5 Echo Lima, fly southbound, I'll call your turn to the southwest.
Fly southbound for 5 Echo Lima, you'll call the southwest.
We're going to turn this guy to heading 180. We're leveled at 2,200 feet here. I'm going to pull the power back. This is how easy it is to fly a turbo.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull the power back to 30.5 inches of manifold pressure or thereabouts.
Okay.
And then you see this little blue line that popped up there?
Yeah.
Tower.
We're going to pull the mixture back to that blue line.
We'll
We'll get a big power change. Kind of hear it. There it is. And that's it. Now it is set for cruise flight, and that's all you have to do.
Wow. I love that power run. I'm so full power. I just wanted to, like,
I know. You have to almost like try to like keep like, nope, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Hey.
It climbed like a monster.
Yes.
That was amazing.
He is a beast.
Yeah.
Alright, we can sneak up. I'm going to adjust this to 2,500 so we can sneak up a little bit higher.
Okay.
Because we have a flight level change, so I love the way that this autopilot was designed.
Okay.
We always use flight level change for climbs because you want to protect your airspeed in a climb, right? So by using flight level change, it's going to climb at an indicated airspeed. So I've selected 130 knots. We're only climbing 200 feet, so you know I don't have to climb at any sort of like performance climb rate or anything. So we always use flight level change to climb, and we use vertical speed to descend. That's why flight level change is on top and vertical speed's on the bottom.
Okay.
So it's an easy way to kind of remember which one you're supposed to use and when.
Yeah.
Got all kinds of targets out here. Look at them all.
5 Echo Lima, Encore's approved, thanks.
Encore's approved for 5 Echo Lima, thanks, yeah.
All right, we're gonna go southwest. We'll head over Prior Lake. Look at all the boaters.
It's a beautiful day for a boat
Yeah.
tonight. Yeah.
Ooh, bird. Oh my God.
Perfect 602.
That bird, if it dove, we would have had a very blessed, fun day.
Huh.
Did you see it?
I did,
It was,
yeah.
I just almost hit a bird the other day, and literally, I'm not joking, it went right under my wingtip. I was like, I might have feathers on my pitot tube.
Yeah. Not fun.
No.
Stand down when you'll call base line for go.
It definitely reduced your load of
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You're like, what am I supposed to
Yeah,
be doing right
yeah,
now?
I'm like,
This.
am I missing something?
The most important thing is just picking our music, you know?
On a king, you're on a 7-mile final.
I'm an EDM girl, so
Downwind on base.
BPM. And the intercom is super easy to use in here.
Yeah.
This is, I think, one of the best improvements with these avionics.
Yeah.
Because the old intercom, no offense, Garmin, we love you, but it was really confusing.
Uh-huh.
And so this one, you can see who you're talking to. So if we don't want to... And now you can't hear me anymore, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Usually it's like the pilot, you know, you're listening to radio calls and talking to people, and like your passengers are the ones yapping. So we do have like a quick turn off button.
Okay.
We have a pilot isolate button now. So if I hit this, it's going to cut off you and I, but we'll still be able to talk.
Okay.
So if,
Only 10 left from in the frequency.
Down to
Yeah,
36
we can't
left on
talk.
36, holding short of 10 left.
That's
which is
really
pretty
cool.
sweet.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
So, and it's, I think, you know, the graphical representation of who
Yep.
you're talking to, like, it just makes a lot more sense instead of having to, like, try and remember, like, which sequence to, like, push and hold or double click a button or whatever it is.
Exactly.
So, makes it really easy. We also have our audio and radio, so all of your volumes can be controlled in here. I get a lot of questions about, like, you know, how difficult or easy it is when, you know, it's bumpy out. It's not super bumpy out right now, but you can drag and drop, you know, the volume here,
Okay.
or you can use the knob. So if it's really bumpy out, you can use like the physical knobs on the plane instead, which, you know, makes it easy if it's bumpy. It's, you know,
Yeah.
it's not terribly bumpy out here anyway, but the touch screens aren't super hard to navigate either way. All the buttons are pretty big, and we
Yeah.
have a lot of places to like rest your hand to hold it if you need to. So.
For sure.
Okay, we're under the 7,000 foot shelf and the clouds are thinning out here, so we can climb up a little bit higher, get out, let's climb up to, we'll go up to 6,500 since we're under the 7,000 foot shelf, so go ahead and bug that for me. Beautiful, and then hit flight level change, because we're going to climb. And then this scroll wheel here is how we set the airspeed that we want. So we want nose up, so yep, there you go, you're doing it the right way. And let's go to 125 knots.
Okay.
We'll call it. We might have to do more or less depending on when these clouds approach us, so.
Okay.
Beautiful. Love it. And then we want to climb quickly, so you're going to smoothly push both of those forward, so mixture as well. There you go, I gotcha. Ta-da! And then we'll climb like a rocket ship.
Yeah.
If your ears hurt, let me know. Forget about these clouds. Oh, this is a good opportunity to look at. I'm going to go over to our systems, and you were asking about the EVS camera.
Yeah.
So you see how you can see the clouds here? Here, I'll make it big so that people can see it. So this will paint a picture for you. So like obviously these are like the only clouds that we can see. You can kind of see the roads, the grid pattern down there. It's really helpful when you have low visibility. So if you're coming in and it's, you know, IFR, if it's, you know, you're just descending through a cloud layer, like a low cloud layer, it'll help kind of paint a picture of where the runway is, what the runway environment looks like, so that you can, you know, start to piece that together, what you see here with what you see outside, which is a really helpful tool. I also have customers that, you know, they fly into their cabins up north, and, you know, there's not a lot of fencing to keep wildlife off the runway, so at night they'll do like a low pass with their EVS camera to like look for animals. I use it, you know, at night in the winter time to stay out of like the clouds, to stay out of icing layers. A lot of the time, you know, wintertime, it's pitch black out here and you can't tell the cloud from the night sky. So to stay out of those clouds, like if you're above a cloud layer, you can pull this up and then you can see, you know, like, okay, well, I need to climb up another 1,000, 2,000 feet to stay above this cloud layer, to stay out of the ice or whatever it is. So, not that we can't fly through icing, but, you know, at night, in the ice, there are probably better ways to go about that. So.
Exactly. It's all about the safety, right?
Exactly.
You wanna, if
just
you have
because
it,
you
use
can
it.
doesn't mean you should. Yeah. Okay, we'll go back to this, and then we're gonna set this up for cruise again. So pull that bad boy back to 30.5. It's a pretty big pull. Perfect, and then mixture comes back to just below that blue line, so it should be about 17 gallons. Just above that blue line is the hottest part, so we want to lean it out just below that blue line, at or below technically, because that helps cool it off. The turbo always runs lean of peak, which means that we get pretty good fuel economy, which we can see here.
Nice.
And so our target fuel is 17.2 gallons per hour, and we're below that at 16.6, so we're good to go.
Pretty cool, yeah.
It's running nice and smooth. I always try to keep my turbo intake temperatures below 1600 is my goal for engine longevity.
And what's the range on this thing?
So, great question. So we don't have full fuel. With full fuel, it's about 1,000 miles, 1,200 miles some cases. But we can see this is our current ring. So, you know, we're going here to Denver. We don't even have a full tank. We're like 65 gallons of gas and we can get to Denver no problem. You can go to Knoxville. That's where we deliver all of our airplanes, our new airplanes to the customer. So it's got a pretty good range. That's about, I think Knoxville's 700 or 800 miles. So it's a pretty good, pretty decent range on not a full tank of gas. But it's about 1,000 miles and 5 hours of fuel. So the airplane's yelling at us, not yelling at us, but it's telling us that we've been in heading mode for a while and we haven't changed anything. We know that because we're just heading moding it around out here, but if you'd like to get a good feel for the airplane, we can disconnect the autopilot. We're outside of the Bravo airspace, so we don't have to really worry about much out here. But if you'd like to get a sense for hand flying the airplane, you can double click the autopilot disconnect button there.
Double click it?
Perfect. So clicking it once disconnects the autopilot, but if you double click it, it also kills the aural alert that you get, so you only hear it one time, which is just kind of a pro tip. But it also disconnects everything else that you're doing. So fun parts about the Cirrus, you have a yaw dampener. So your feet are on the rudder pedals, but they don't have to be. You can put them flat on the floor, even when you're hand flying, because the yaw dampener is always on. So if you want to test that out, you can see our little slip
I'm gonna do like a bank
there. Do some turns, get a feel for it. The flight controls in the Cirrus are all spring loaded, so they're really stable. They can be really nice and sporty as well, but they hold their position really well. So instead of having it kind of fall, you know, when you like roll into a bank and it wants to like continue rolling into that bank, that doesn't really happen in this airplane.
And we stay coordinated. That's nice.
It does it for you.
We do some steep turns in commercial standards.
We're almost at maneuvering speed, so you definitely can if you want to. But we have the electronic stability protection in this airplane, so your 45-degree marks are those double hash lines. And those, we call them the eyelashes. So if you roll all the way into those eyelashes, it kind of works like lane control in your car. It's going to bump you out of them. So if you want to try that, you can definitely see. So roll into 45. Go ahead. Obviously, I didn't do that. I'm not touching anything.
So it did it by itself.
I did it by itself.
That's cool.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. So most of what we have done in this airplane is to protect the pilot, right, from yourself. Because a lot of accidents are pilot-induced. It's pilot error. So if we can make this airplane, you know, pilot-proof, make sure that the airplane, even if you are hand flying like we are right now, the airplane's still here to protect you. So it's the same thing when you go through stall sequences in this airplane. Even in a stalled condition, if you stay in a stalled condition with the stall horn going off for more than 5 seconds, the autopilot takes over and recovers you. So it will not really let you do silly things.
No, I love all the safety features about it, you know.
We're big on safety. We're big on, you know, cool gee-whiz things too, but the vast majority of the improvements that we've made to this airplane have been for safety. For the pilots, for the passengers. You know, even on your worst day as a pilot, it shouldn't cost you your life. That's how we feel. So we're going to continue to improve and innovate and make sure that general aviation and personal aviation can be a safe mode of transportation for people and their families.
I feel like it gives you the, piloting skills. I mean, you're still using those. You just have extra things in there that's helping you out. So
Absolutely.
I'm wild right now. Like, there's so many things.
Yeah.
This is a guy
There's a lot to look at.
Yeah. This is a guy from speaking from when I started flying with Cessna 150 6-pack. You know.
Yeah.
Like seeing something like this is like.
Yeah.
Yeah. We closed up a little bit.
It's easy to climb in this thing.
Yeah. But yeah, this is amazing, and I did fly a 2002 Cirrus, which is a little bit older version, but
you can see the differences that we've made.
Yeah, on top of that, you can see a little bit that some of the things are still the same, right?
Yeah.
As in like the safety aspects of things, and
Yeah.
they even have like the checklist and all that. It's still in the all the older versions as well. It's just new and improved, right?
Absolutely.
So I
We're
really
always
like that.
updating it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and safety's been at the core of the mission for Cirrus since their inception, really.
Okay.
You know, building a composite airplane. The founders tell the stories best, but a big reason that they came out with so many of the features and came out with the glass cockpit and created, you know, a flight deck and cabin experience that is kind of luxury car feeling is because, you know, their wives and their families, you know, like weren't comfortable flying in an airplane with them because it looks so foreign, because it looks so complicated. And Patty Clapmeyer, she'll always joke that like she didn't trust that Dale knew where he was going or if they had enough fuel to get there, and she's like, I'm not putting my kids in that airplane then if I don't trust you to know where you're going. So we always have in the upper right hand corner how long you're gonna be to get to your destination and how much fuel you're gonna have when you get there. So for Patty, we've done that. But you know, it's also really easy, you know, for non-flying passengers to see what's going on. We have the little airplane on the screen, and this is, you know, obviously props to Garmin for making this so user-friendly and like, you know, obvious to non-flying folks. But there's no sense in, you know, having all of these like gee whiz gadgets that only a pilot knows how to interpret.
Exactly. Yeah. And even with that, I think I've recently seen that there's an app now you can check your.
Yes, I'll show you on the ground.
Okay.
After you do your landing, we'll show you what your landing score is. So.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see.
We have our Cirrus IQ. So. Cirrus IQ is incredible technology. It's the same box actually that we get our database updates from and through. So our Cirrus IQ Pro now also gives you feedback on your flying, because once again, we want to create safe pilots. So we have a plethora of online safety training videos on how to fly the airplane, you know, what to look for, how to run your engine, all the ins and outs of the engines and the avionics, instrument flying, all kinds of really good training videos. But now you're actively getting feedback in the field while you're out here flying the airplane too. So after you land, we have criteria for a stabilized approach. And so once upon landing, the airplane will send that data to your Cirrus IQ app, and you can see how you did on your landing. Were you configured above 500 feet? You know, were you on your, you know,
glide path?
Glide path. Were you laterally aligned with the runway? You know, it's pretty cool to be able to see, you know, how you're doing. Gives you know, if you need to tighten it up a little bit. It'll let you know.
That's amazing.
It's become a little bit of a contest now too. A lot of my customers that are flying around with the Cirrus IQ Pro now, they like to send me, you know, when they have a really good landing. The best I've seen still is a 99%. So shout out to Jim for the 99%, but I haven't seen 100% yet.
Some real skills there.
It's hard to get 100%. I will be honest.
Let's talk about the Autoland. Now that we're up here. So,
now that we're up flying. So. If we were to engage that emergency Autoland system right now, we as the pilots would have 10 seconds to respond to that. So after pushing it, 10 seconds to respond before the airplane starts taking over, which is a pretty quick response time, especially if you're up at altitude. Once the airplane senses, you know, it's engaging that Autoland system, it's going to identify the nearest tower-controlled airport. It's going to navigate you around weather and terrain. Today, it's nice and warm out, so it's not going to run your TKS, but it would run your TKS, turn on your pitot heat, do all those things. It'll adjust your fuel-air mixture for the altitude that you're at, and it'll adjust your throttle. As soon as it identifies the landing airport, on these screens, the screens take over right away and tell the passengers what's going on. But it'll let the passengers know. It'll say, we're landing at Flying Cloud Airport in Eden Prairie, Minnesota in 7 minutes, or we're 11 minutes away, so probably be somewhere around 11 minutes. we're contacting, air traffic control and emergency services. It'll walk them through how to talk to air traffic control. So these boxes will take over. A big, mic queuing button will pop up here. And it'll tell the passenger, move the mic on your headset down in front of your mouth, push and hold this, and tell air traffic control what you need to. So, if it's a pilot incapacitation, or if you know something's going on, if they're actively having a heart attack, or something is actively happening, you can let air traffic control know, like, he's having a heart attack, or whatever happened, and we need an ambulance to meet us at the airplane. And then they can have that arranged when you land, which is pretty dang cool. It'll choose an approach. So today it'll select the winds. We saw that, right, with our runways here. So on our runways, the winds are calm. Lame, but you saw it when we were going the runway, right? So you can see, what the ideal runway is. That way the plane can also select the ideal runway. It'll line up an approach, and then take you in on that approach all the way down to landing. It adjusts the throttle. It deploys the flaps. It always lands with 50% flaps, because in the event that we are in icing conditions and the airplane is contaminated with ice, we're not allowed to land with 100% flaps. So it always kind of assumes then that the airplane is ice contaminated for its own safety,
and then,
which is pretty dang cool.
I guess in the case of, is it committed to the landing every single time then, or can it go around and try again?
Good question. So it is committed to the landing. I don't think that there's any circumstances that the airplane would go around. Because it's, once again, back to kind of our original point, like the airplane, it knows how to fly itself. It's usually a pilot that
goes
needs
around.
to go around, because we weren't doing what we were supposed to do. So the airplane, it's really spot on the money in terms of its capabilities. So I don't know that it would go around. That's a really good question for
but it makes sense that it's doing what it said it's going to do, so it's going to execute a good landing every single time.
So it'll land the airplane. It aligns itself with the center line. That's how we get our grading for our Cirrus IQ as well. It knows where the center line is. You can't pull it. So it'll line itself up on the center line, come in, touch down, come to a complete stop. So it applies the brakes evenly, comes to a complete stop, and then you'll actually watch it cut off the mixture. So pull the throttle all the way back, the mixture will come all the way back, it turns the boost pump off, shuts the airplane down, and sets the parking brake, and then it tells the passengers how to get out of how to exit the airplane. So how to unbuckle your seatbelt, open the door, and get out. Which is incredible.
It is. We talked about transitioning on the ground, but let's talk a little bit about that. What do you see in new customers and how they handle transitioning to a Cirrus? I mean, we're up here right now. I'm barely doing anything. I'm flying itself pretty much.
I think high performance airplanes in general kind of get a bad rep, and for some of them, there is a lot of complicated stuff going on. You've got mixture, that's pretty straightforward, but you got prop control, and you've got landing gear, and you've got maybe cowl flaps, and all of these other things that you have to do. We have simplified this airplane to the point that it can land itself. So transitioning into this airplane, while yes, it's high performance and extremely capable, it's pretty easy to fly. So the hardest part really is getting to know the avionics and the capabilities of this airplane, so that you're a good steward of flying the airplane and being able to tell it what to do and understanding what it's going to do. And also hand fly it if worst case scenario comes around and you have to hand fly something goes wrong. Very unlikely, but if it does, that you can still hand fly the airplane. Obviously we recommend hand flying still. All of us Cirrus pilots get a bad rep that we always fly around with the autopilot on, but as you're experiencing right now, the airplane's just as easy to hand fly. So.
Exactly, like I said, we don't have autopilot on right now, and it's super easy.
The only real difference is the approach speeds can be a little bit quicker if someone's coming from a 172, 182, something like that. Obviously we're a high performance airplane, we're going to be coming in fast, but you'll see when we're coming in to land, these things slow down really nicely. We've got big old flaps on them. And lots of capabilities to slow the airplane down. So we're still touching down at about 65 knots. So
Okay. Yeah.
a pretty slow speed.
Yeah. So then if somebody wanted to buy the G7 Plus right now, is that all just a back order, or do they have a bunch of them online right now?
Yeah, so we are a built-to-order OEM. So we don't have just a bunch of airplanes out here.
Yeah.
Look at, see, it just wants to climb.
Yeah, it's going up.
Yeah. Whether you want it to or not. So we are a built-to-order OEM. So every single airplane that comes off the line at the Cirrus factory in Duluth is already paid for. That airplane is already assigned to someone. One of our customers got to choose those colors, choose this, leather interior color, choose these panel covers, the tail number. Usually it's something, meaningful to the customer.
Yep.
And so it's all customized, built to order. So we have a bit of a backlog. During COVID, we had about 40% of our customers were new to aviation, student pilots buying and getting into flying. So with 40% of just our customers that were getting into aviation, just goes to show what a huge influx of new pilots came into aviation during COVID. So that created a bit of a backlog for us. So we are building about 650 piston airplanes a year, about 100 Vision jets, and we are sold out through about Q1 of 2027.
Wow.
So a bit of a backlog. There's opportunities to get in. We have demo planes available sooner. So like this airplane, this is owned by a customer and then leased back to us to use for demonstration purposes.
Yep.
And so we do have those available a little bit sooner. But it's a bit of a backlog right now.
Yeah.
Which is a good problem to have.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a lovely plane.
Yes.
I mean, everybody wants it.
Yeah, who wouldn't want it?
Yeah. I want one now too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job then.
There you are. Yeah, you are, yeah.
And then activate direct. Perfect. And now go to nav mode. And we'll just head back towards Flying Cloud. So at least we're going somewhere towards it.
Yeah.
Instead of me just guessing what heading will maybe put us there.
Okay.
Okay. You want
These
to
screens are pretty huge though.
They
are. The G1000 is like this.
Yes. Yeah, the
Which one
standard
is
is
this one?
10 inches. So this is a 14-inch screen. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Which is the same size as the jet.
Cool.
Pretty much, that's kind of like our standard phrase with the G7, G7 Plus.
Okay.
Is it's just like the jet.
Yeah.
Tower, Cirrus 525 Echo Lima is 10 to the southwest, inbound full stop. We're looking for 10 right.
Cirrus 525 Echo Lima, Flying Cloud Tower, and a right base, runway 10 right.
Okay, you want to do this? You want to fly? Can I fly? Okay. So, we're coming down to 2,000 feet. That's our traffic pattern altitude. I'm going to pull the power back to 18 inches. That is our, kind of like good downwind speed. It should set us up to be about 120 knots on the downwind.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of cut over the top.
Do like a
And
U-turn.
then, do a U-turn around Canterbury Park there.
Here's 5 Echo Lima, you can start your turn inbound.
Alright, we'll start the turn for 10 right, 5 Echo Lima.
Check 1081, runway 10 right, clear to land.
Well, this will kind of be fun. You get like a shoop, shoop, shoop. Lots of good turning, like, angled shots, too.
Yeah. We had good practice earlier doing some turns, so.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay. This is looking good.
Once you enter the downwind,
Get a little bit closer then.
follows a Seminole on a 5-mile final.
Okay, on the down, we'll look for that traffic, turn 5 Echo Lima.
Alright, they're on a 5-mile final, so this guy that we're going to be behind.
It's a wide downwind, but
Yeah, that's alright. We're fast and we've got time, so. So as soon as we see our friend out there.
Foxtrot and Cutagram.
Press on your lift, gun for ground.
Tower 54589 on holding short 10.
So then, you see this little track vector? I always just line it up on my outbound leg, and then you know you're on a perfect downwind.
Okay.
Alright, so we can kind of start our descent now. We're going to pull the power back to 12 inches, and then we're going to dump 50% flaps. There we go. Work that power back just a little bit more, and then if you click forward 2 clicks on the trim, that kind of sets you perfectly for like the nose down attitude. And then we're looking for about 100 knots on the airspeed. So you can make the appropriate adjustments, power and attitude.
Yeah.
Looking good. All we really want is to be below 110 because now you can ignore her because we're going to start descending. But the airplane will not put in the flaps if you're too fast, so we have to be below 110 to even put the flaps in, 100% flaps. Which, to give him some time, let's go ahead and dump the rest of the flaps in, so you can go 100%. Perfect, and then 2 clicks forward on the trim again. Perfect, that helps kind of counter that again. And you're not like trying to catch up with it, it kind of counters it right off the bat. Alright. Boost pumps on, mixtures rich, flaps are 100%. I see them down and locked, lights are on. Everything looks good. We are cleared to land number 2, and we're looking for about 90 knots, so we're a little bit slow here. So we can add just a tiny boost. Look at that lineup of traffic, holy cats. A busy day. Looking good. Right on the glide path, look at you. Like a real commercial pilot. Beautiful. This is looking lovely. Nice. And now we can start to slow just a little bit more. We can go down to like 85 knots here. And then we're going to slow to that little donut there, which should be about 78 knots. There you go. Pull some more power out. There you go. This is looking good. A little bumpy, nice and hot. Oh, like a pro! Look at you! That was good.
I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to showcase your plane here on the First Gen Pilot YouTube channel, make sure to hit that link in the description to sign up and we can make it happen. Until next time, keep the blue side up. We'll see ya.